In this particular video, we will look into the factors which affect enzyme activity. So there are four factors which will affect enzyme activity. The first factor is temperature. The second factor is pH. The third factor is concentration of substrate. And the fourth factor is binding of specific chemicals called as inhibitors. Looking into the first factor, that is the temperature. So if we look into the graph of temperature and the graph of pH, then the graphs are almost similar. If we talk about the effect of temperature, then enzymes work in a narrow range of temperature. So as seen in this particular graph, on the x-axis, temperature is shown. On the y-axis, enzyme activity is shown. So this particular enzyme is showing activity from this temperature to this temperature. So this is the narrow range of temperature in which enzyme will be active. Now, as we can see in this particular graph, that maximum enzyme activity is at this temperature, and this temperature is called as optimum temperature. At low temperature, enzyme will be preserved, so it will enter into a temporarily inactive state. But if we give high temperature, then enzyme will be destroyed, and the destruction of enzymes by high temperature is called as denaturation. So this is the effect of temperature. Similar effect happens if the pH is changed. So if we see this particular graph, on x-axis we have pH, on y-axis we have enzyme activity. So enzymes are active at this narrow range of pH, and maximum activity of enzyme will be at this pH, and this pH will be called as optimum pH. So as we were talking about maximum activity of enzyme at this optimum temperature, similarly at optimum pH, activity will be highest. Moving to third factor which affects enzyme activity, and that is the concentration of substrate. So let us understand it by this particular graph. In this graph, on x-axis, concentration of substrate is shown over here, and on the y-axis, velocity of reaction is shown. Now, as we see in this particular graph, slowly as the substrate concentration increases, the velocity of reaction also increases. Slowly, it will increase, but after reaching a certain substrate concentration, there will be no further increase in velocity of reaction. So that means when a particular substrate concentration is reached, after this, if you increase the substrate concentration, it is not going to increase the velocity of reaction, and the velocity of reaction will be maximum at this particular point, and this maximum velocity is called as Vmax. So this is the graph which is going to come in this case. What is the reason for this particular structure which comes in the graph? It is because in this particular case, we are increasing the number of substrate molecules. Concentration of substrate is being increased, but here the number of enzyme molecules are constant, those are not increased. Now, initially what will happen? As we increase substrate concentration, substrate molecules will combine with the enzyme molecules, and it will result into the increase of velocity. But slowly, all the enzyme molecules will be saturated with substrate molecules, and at that point, maximum velocity Vmax will come. After this point, if we increase the concentration of substrate, then no enzyme molecules will be present which will combine with substrate, so there will be no further increase in velocity of reaction. So this is the effect of concentration of substrate. Coming to the fourth factor, that is binding of specific chemicals, and those chemicals are called as inhibitors. So whenever binding of any chemical shuts the enzyme activity, stops the enzyme activity, that process is called as inhibition, and the chemical is called as inhibitor. Here we will talk about one type of inhibition, and the type is called as competitive inhibition. Now, why it is called as competitive inhibition? Because normally, if the reaction has to occur, then enzyme will combine with substrate and it will result into the formation of enzyme substrate complex, and finally we will get the product. So substrate is going to be converted into product. In competitive inhibition, there is a structure. We call it I inhibitor. So structure of inhibitor will be similar to substrate. Now, if structure of substrate and inhibitor is similar, in this particular case, inhibitor can also bind to enzyme. So here there will be competition between substrate and inhibitor to bind with enzyme, and if inhibitor binds to enzyme, in this case, enzyme inhibitor complex will be formed, and in this case, there will be no product which will be formed. So, this particular phenomena is called as competitive inhibition. Two examples we have to see of competitive inhibition. The first example is inhibition of succinic dehydrogenase enzyme by malonate or malonic acid, and second example is control of bacterial pathogens by sulfur drugs.